This third video, I'll be talking about how we create all these panels or all these subdivided surfaces, convert them into panels, and we'll be using. Obviously, what we can do, we can just offset these, scale these, so on and so forth. But there is a really shortcut to this, which is called under Lunchbox panel frame. So if we put these surfaces into panel frame, you see that we will have our panels, and based on the scaling factor, it will give us the panel frame and the panel itself. So what we can do here is we can say, okay, scaling factor, let's say 0.95, something like this, and preview this off. And what this will give me is, you see, the panels and the frames. So why this is important? Because if I select this and convert it into diamond panels, it all goes into diamond panels itself. So it's quite automated and quite fast solution for our conceptualized or concept sketch of the facade, this face. Oh, by the way, if we come over here and then say east facade, we'll have the east facade. But obviously, since our subdivision or surface subdivision algorithm in this case are not going to be understanding the trimmed face, that might be a bit problematic. So if we go with triangles, if we go with the isotrim, you see it's going to be adding all these like mirrored face here just to complete this surface, because this surface is trimmed, okay? But if you go back to our, let's say, north facade, we don't have that particular. Oh, we do have it there because we have that surface as trimmed surface as well, south facade. It works well. On the west facade, we have the trouble. But if we go to, like, let's say option 1, everything is on the side, you see. So everything is working well, but the problem with that is the numbers are not matching that much because this is a complete box, right? So let's switch back to our south facade on option 3. Okay, and what we are doing here is basically creating these panels. So one thing we'll be doing here is to create two surfaces, one surface for the panel frame and one surface for the panel itself. Panel frame in this case is going to be the frame, the panel is going to be the glazing. So let's start with this one. So if I can take these surface, the main surfaces as my main surfaces, and if I find their areas, because what I want to do is I want to extrude this, right? If I want to create sort of a depth in this, so what I can say here is extrude this surfaces, panel frames, right? But on where we want to have these here, the direction should be not the north normal of our surfaces. So if I grab an area for this one, maybe, what I was trying to have in mind essentially is to have the untrimmed surfaces, the initial ones, but we can proceed with this one too, I think. Let's have this surface closest point, and this is my point, and this is my surface. Again, like, I'm repeating this very same thing that I did at the beginning, and evaluate this surface UV point here, surface, this same surface here this time, and push this up. I can pull an amplitude. The normal is going to be my vector. The amplitude, like, let's say 2.00, just to see. 2 meters is going to be too deep, but we'll just see. And if I connect this in, you see it pushes everything out with 2 meters. and you see the panels are a bit off. That's the reason why we want them to be like, let's say, going 0.5, which means 50. I mean, this is even too much. Let's say 20 centimeters. Oops. Okay. And obviously what I will be doing for this one is grouping this all, okay, and preview this with, I don't know, like some sort of a gray color, right? Turn this off, color swatch, having this as gray, putting this in. Let's see what we have. We have the grays. So if I add this to here, connect this, copy this and paste it below, and this time if I connect the panel to here and then put this here, now obviously the panel is not going to be this thick, so it's probably going to be, I don't know, like 0.05, and it's gonna be blue. So it's gonna be blue, right? And you see now I've sort of created my conceptual facade here, and we have these thicknesses all over the place. I'm not sure why we see them as this texture. Am I having something? I don't know. Okay, there are a couple of things we can change here. For instance, if I group this guy here, and then if I say 0.85, then you see that immediately it responds, and immediately it responds here as well. And one other thing that we can do here is to, I say quad panels, staggered panels, diamond panels, and diamond panels. So it's basically responding all the things that we are creating or trying to have here. And with this being said, I think we are like finishing this video now. And in the next one, I'll be talking about how we are going to create sort of louvers on top of these facade panels.